everyone. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope no one's getting pummeled too hard by this hurricane. We're in week 6, and this week we needed to choose a civic organization of some kind that we would present to and use the Proquest newspaper databases. So I chose to, honestly, my presentation could be to any civic organization that's interested in history, but I chose to go with the Daughters of the American Revolution because that's one I'm a little more familiar with and understand that target audience well, and I think it would be, my topic would be interesting to them. I chose to, once again, review the election of 1876 that I talked about last week. And in my presentation, I would anticipate covering a brief history of that, similar to my post last week. But then specifically integrating some primary sources into the presentation that the participants could interact with and kind of familiarize themselves with that part of the history process. So along that vein, I found 3 articles in the New York Times related to this election, the March 2nd, March 4th, and March 6th newspapers. These articles were published right on the heels of the final decision to declare Hayes the winner of the election. So March 2nd's article is all about the details of the filibuster that the Democrats attempted the day before to prevent the official declaration from taking place. So that contains some very interesting information. It really brings up some interesting issues about our perceptions that politics have gotten nastier compared to, you know, the old days when it was much more gentlemanly, and this really calls that into question, but it also goes into detail about the specifics of how that filibuster occurred and how it was brought to its resolution. The March 4th article talks extensively about how the Electoral Commission played out and how that committee of 15 members, which were it was composed of 5 members from the House, 5 from the Senate, and 5 from the Supreme Court, and how the Democrats had intended to have the 5th member from the Supreme Court be the independent Davis, and it just so happened that he was elected to Congress in Illinois right at the time that he had been chosen to be on this commission. And they didn't expect him to do this, but he resigned his post on the commission. So there were no other independents left on in the Supreme Court. So they just chose the next most qualified candidate who seemed the most likely to judge fairly, and it was another Republican. And the decision actually went straight along party lines. So that really was a key point in the determination of this whole election. So that was that 2nd article. And then the March 6th article really provides a great review of the whole situation and what had happened throughout, from the primaries all the way through the end of the election. So I anticipate perhaps breaking them after the main overview, breaking them into small groups and giving them primary sources to review, and then guiding them through some Socratic dialogue to discuss some of these issues about the roles of the press and contested elections and negativity. Thank you so much.